Right now on Newsday TV, eye on the storm. We are watching the chance for another weekend snowstorm. Yeah, you heard that right. I'm Macy Eglund. We are tracking a possible bomb cyclone Saturday night into Sunday. Meteorologist Jeff Banson is joining us now. Bomb cyclone. What is that? It sounds awful.
It sounds probably a little bit scary. I mean, It's a serious thing, but it may sound a little scary. I will talk about that.
Okay.
First, we have to focus on this cold, which could turn dangerous over the next couple of days. You know, it's kind of gone from "ow, my face hurts" to really you have to protect all parts of your body with these numbers that we're really not terribly used to, even in the dead of winter here on Long Island. Let's look at the temperatures outside this morning, and yeah, it's very, very cold, around 10 degrees, maybe a little higher than that as you get out towards the South Fork, the Hamptons, out to Montauk, a balmy 18 degrees this morning. Yeah, let's look at the wind chills, the real feel, which is close to zero. West Hampton Beach right now checking in at 2 below. Yeah, not very comfortable stuff. As you look at your day planner, it's not going to get all that much better, but at least we'll have some sun today. That solar radiation will help to melt that snowpack a little bit more. It's been slowly shrinking, but with these temperatures, it's been hard to really get it to go anywhere. Believe it or not, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. Single-digit wind chills this afternoon. Now, tomorrow morning, this is what I'm talking about, dangerous cold here. Wind chills could be as low as 10 to 20 degrees below zero. You have to make sure, especially if you're doing anything like going outside, trying to still shovel snow or ice or anything like that, have to make sure your skin is protected here because frostbite could be a real concern with this type of weather. As we go throughout the day on Friday, more of the same, very similar numbers to today and then tonight and tomorrow morning for Saturday morning. So it's going to be a real bear here over the next couple of days temperature-wise. We had actually some east end snow showers last night. You could kind of see that ocean effect snow, though. Cold air blowing over the relatively warmer waters of the Atlantic Ocean and those little church pews of snow popping up there. The same thing happening right off of Cape Cod. And the warm water is important because it kind of ties into our next note, which is explaining the bomb cyclone that we talked about at the top. Now, it's so quiet weather-wise across much of the lower 48, but this is the area of the country that we're going to be focused in on in the next 48 hours where our eventual coastal storm, our eventual nor'easter will form. So whether or not this impacts Long Island, it's going to be a bomb cyclone regardless. All a bomb cyclone is a rapidly intensifying storm, and it typically happens this time of year because we do get that big temperature variation, and that's what helps to fuel the storm. So we have the warm waters of the Gulf Stream moving into this frigid air mass here. So it's generally defined as a 24 or more millibar drop. Millibars are what we measure atmospheric pressure in within 24 hours. So again, about a millibar an hour on average. Typically happens October through March. Again, the transitional seasons, the winter seasons where we still have warm water and very cold air. And it results almost always in heavy precip, could be in the form of snow, could be in the form of rain. Doesn't have to be a winter situation, but almost always has a coastal flooding and wind component, especially when it is a coastal storm. It doesn't also have to be a coastal storm. Could be any area of low pressure, but we are most impacted here on Long Island by these coastal storms. And there you can see it spinning up over the Carolinas here. You're getting a lot of moisture with this storm. Again, it's a very strong storm. And the outer bands here now dipping into the cold air over the lower 48 up the eastern seaboard. And you can see how it keeps intensifying as it approaches us here. This has all the makings of an East End special. It really looks like Cape Cod is going to get absolutely hammered with this as we go into the Sunday time frame here and then tapering off as we head into Monday. I will say this, it's good that it's not Super Bowl Sunday. That could cause headaches on top of headaches. But as we take a look at our forecast snowfall, and we'll have an official forecast for you here on Newsday TV later today, it does look like probably in the 3 to 5, maybe 3 to 6 inch range as you work your way towards the Twin Forks. But this is going to be a very tight cutoff, where as you go west, you're going to see very little to next to nothing. I've seen storms like this on Long Island where, you go from Suffolk County, you drive west, and the snow just keeps going down and down and down until eventually you get really nothing at all. So let's look at the 7-day forecast. And once again, I feel like deja vu, Macy. very quiet week outside of this Sunday chance for snow. And again, the very cold temperatures with us for the next couple of days here. Overnight temperatures near 0 degrees, but there is an end in sight to the brutal stuff. Look at that. Next week, how about that? Temperatures above freezing for the first time in what feels like weeks.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
A former employee of this Wading River pizzeria is accused of burning it down. Prosecutors say Konstantin Sakos was fired from Pazzo Ristorante and wood-fired pizzeria and was demanding back pay around the time of the fire in November. The restaurant was heavily damaged and has not reopened. A not guilty plea from the Brentwood man police say caused this wrong-way crash in Atlantic Beach. They say Job Giuliani got behind the wheel, drunk and high last month, and collided with another car on Beach Street. Prosecutors say the crash put an 11-year-old boy in the hospital where he still remains. A new hurdle for plans to bring charter schools to Brentwood and Central Islip. The state's teachers union is suing SUNY and the Academy Charter School to overturn the approval. Now, it claims SUNY sanctioned the applications despite community opposition. SUNY's Charter Schools Institute defended the approvals, and the Academy's founder says the suit is without merit. Only in Newsday, a plan to demolish nearly 24 empty oil tanks in Oyster Bay Harbor. The site's owner filed a demolition permit to knock them down. So far, Oyster Bay Town has not received any formal proposals to redevelop the 3 acres the tanks sit on. A new Whole Foods is being planned in Mount Sinai. The supermarket is part of a revamp of the Mount Sinai Shopping Center on Wisconsin Highway. It's being renamed Crystal Brook Corner. The renovation will cost about $15 million. Only in Newsday, Gabby Petito's parents are fighting for the right to sue a Utah police department for $50 million. Now, they claim their daughter's life could have been spared if police recognized evidence of domestic abuse when officers pulled Gabby and Brian Laundrie over in 2021. Weeks later, the Blue Point native was found dead, and Laundrie returned to his Florida home before committing suicide. Newsday reporter Robert Brodsky explains that lawsuit.
According to this wrongful death lawsuit that was filed in the district court in Utah, the local police department were not properly trained to assess signs of domestic violence. The city police department says that it was unforeseeable what could have happened several weeks later, resulting in Ms. Petito's death.
And you can read more about that lawsuit on our website, newsday.com. Click Get More below that Newsday TV video box. Only in Newsday, clear the way. You could actually face a fine if you don't clean snow and ice off of your sidewalks. Newsday TV's Andrew Enger has that story.
The snow stopped falling several days ago, but officials say if you haven't dug out the sidewalk in front of your home or business by now, you could be facing fines. Building Superintendent Julio Barillas says he doesn't want residents or visitors to get stuck.
We try, to keep, the sidewalks clean as much as possible. We try to do our best, for the community.
Newsday has learned regulations on clearing sidewalks vary across the island, but typically businesses need to clear them 12 hours after the storm and homeowners after 24 hours so pedestrians don't slip and fall.
We're getting the message out there to clear the pathways, please, and we're giving enough time to get it done. And if not, there will be fines associated with it.
In the town of Huntington, officials say fines could be as much as $1,000. Even though code enforcement officers are looking for violations, officials hope businesses and residents just do the right thing.
We would rather have the property owners clear their sidewalk than write a ticket.
And fire hydrants also need to be cleared like this one does. Now, it gets a little complicated on who owns and who's responsible for each fire hydrant, but the bottom line, fire officials tell me, it's up to all of us to just dig them out.
Shovel it out the best you can. Try and get 3 or 4 feet on either side of it so that we can get in there, because every second counts when there's an emergency.
Officials say if a resident is disabled or elderly and can't dig hydrants or sidewalks out properly, to give their local municipality a call.
It is a limited program, but it is available for those in need.
Call Town Hall.
Call Town Hall.
In Huntington, Andrew Enger, Newsday TV.
And with potentially more snow on the way, some of us have got some work to do. You can read more about this story on our website, newsday.com. Again, click Get More below that Newsday TV video box. Only in Newsday, the rate of Long Island teenagers giving birth has dropped drastically. The birth rate among Long Island girls ages 15, 16, and 17 went down more than 75% between 1997 and 2022. That's according to State Health Department data. We spoke with 22-year-old Uniondale resident Graciela Benavides. She planned to be in law school by now, but got pregnant when she was 16 and is now focused on caring and providing for her 5-year-old daughter.
I wanted to go to a school where I could dorm at, and having a child, I can't do that anymore. I feel upset because I feel like I could have been helping out my family in different ways, and because I had her, I can't.
Experts say birth and pregnancy rates have fallen nationwide due to several factors, including increased access to and use of contraception. You can read more about the story on our website, newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy. Need to maintain or repair an old solar system? Trust Sun Nation Service to fix it like new.
Only a Newsday, a former boxing champ is now wrapping other fighters' hands. Jamie Stewart has that story.
Every boxer dreams of being a champion. It takes years of hard work, discipline, and in Oceanside's Joe Chiambo's case, lots of tape, gauze, and scissors. Joe is a rapper.
Can you feel the support? Yeah.
His gift, not necessarily with his words, but with his hands.
Make a fist.
And his mind.
Some people have soreness here, soreness in the knuckle or in the metatarsal or on the wrist, so I have to adjust.
Joe is a former Golden Gloves boxing champ. He's been wrapping fighters' hands for a decade.
I would practice on myself, I would practice on my wife, I would just practice anybody and anybody.
Is there a science to wrapping hands?
Absolutely. What I'm doing is putting the gauze around the knuckle area so it stays in place when he punches.
Boxers can be very particular about who wraps their hands and how their hands get wrapped. Joe has built the trust in the boxing community, and that's why fighters, including junior welterweight champion Teofimo Lopez, go to him.
There's been many trainers, many hand wrappers that try to wrap his hands or offer and go, no, he just says, no, I'm good. I got Joe.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, it feels great. Lift your hand up like this, brace.
Joe will be wrapping the hands of Lopez before his Madison Square Garden mega fight this month against Shakur Stevenson.
If you're in boxing, whether you're a trainer, a cutman, or just someone involved, you train to be on top of the world. And right now, I'm on top of the world. How that feel, champ?
Feels like a brick. For Newsday TV, I'm Jamie Stewart.
You can see more exclusive content like this on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. All right, time now for the best in high school sports. Here's Jared Veluzzi.
It was another week filled with some incredible plays in high school sports all across Long Island, including some rivalry games. As Chaminade took on Kellenberg, and Michael Weedy for the Flyers was feeling it from downtown as he showed his range in this one as Chaminade took down the Firebirds. And we'll go to Nassau County, Hempstead taking on Long Beach as Christian Holt with the block. Amari Collins launches it back to Holt. He finishes, but it's Long Beach taking the win. And we'll stay in Nassau County. Elmont taking on Southside. How about Aiden Barnes' defense? He pokes the ball free, and Barnes will finish through the contact in Elmont's comeback win. And in girls hoops now, let's go to Bellport here as Maya Leone Terry calls bank. She gets it to go, but Bellport falls short. And staying in Suffolk County, it's Babylon's girls basketball's defense with a great play, and Morgan Fiedler, the crossover, the finish, as Babylon gets the win. And we'll head over to the ice now as East Islip's Evan LaFada. He's one of the best goal scorers in Suffolk, but this time it's the passing ability. He finds Jack Dolson, and EI gets the victory. heading over to Nassau County. RVC taking on Friends Academy North Shore. Nathan Sobel, what a move and what a finish. It's an RVC victory. And finally, girls wrestling, one of the most dramatic finishes in all of high school sports. Valeria Mejia of Uniondale will seal the deal as they get the victory in the inaugural Nassau County Girls Wrestling Dual Meet Championship. As that was an amazing moment there from Uniondale Girls Wrestling. Playoffs starting to arrive in a ton of sports here on Long Island. I'll be back next week for some more phenomenal plays.
And you can watch this entire Sarah Sounds Off episode on Newsday.com. Greg talks with Shoreham Wading River's new football coach as well. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Here's what's up on Long Island. Laugh the night away with comedian Pete Corielli. The stand-up comedian from Long Island comes home to the Paramount Friday night for a stop on his As I Was Saying tour. Hear the Marshall Tucker Band play hits like Can't You See and Ramblin'. The Grammy nominees take the stage at the Patchogue Theater for the Performing Arts Sunday night. Or take a cruise around Shinnecock Bay to learn about the island's seal population and see the mammals in their natural habitat. The boat takes off from the Stony Brook Marine Station Saturday at noon. For admission information and more events, click Get More below that Newsday TV video box on our homepage. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other streaming services you see here. I'm Macy Eglund. We've got more local news coming up.
There's more to Long Island than you know when you picture this. Join Macy Eglund for a journey through some of the major moments in Long Island's past through the lens of the Newsday archives. Picture This, available now at Newsday.com/picture this.